Good day, everyone. We're Spirit. That is not a sign of failure, it is a calling. A gentle nudge from the universe, a whisper from the good within you saying, it's time. Time to awaken. Time to shift. Time to walk a new path. Every moment of unease, every whisper of discontent is not there to break you. It is there to break you open. Open to new possibilities, new ways of being, new paths that align with the truth of who you are becoming. The question is not whether life supports you, it always does. The question is whether you are listening. Are you willing to stop clinging to the shore of familiarity and allow the river of life to carry you to uncharted waters? Goodness knows when you are stuck. It knows when the routine has dulled your fire, when the mundane has muffled your magic. And it steps in not to push you, but to remind you of your infinite potential. Choosing a new path is not about running away from what is, but about stepping into what could be. It's about trusting that inner compass, the one that whispers, not shouts, the one that feels like truth. Change is not comfortable, but neither is stagnation. So the question is, will you stay where you are, or will you dare to answer the call? The good already knows you need a new path. The only question left is, will you? Discomfort is not your enemy. It is not something to be avoided or feared. It is in fact a messenger, a voice from within, quietly yet persistently nudging you to pay attention. It whispers, something is not right here, something needs to shift. But what do we do when discomfort arrives? We often label it as a problem. We try to drown it out with distractions, cover it with excuses, or suppress it with temporary comforts. What we fail to realize is that discomfort is not here to torment us, it is here to awaken us. It is the soul's way of telling you that the path you are on no longer serves the person you are becoming. Think about it: when you're truly at ease with life, when your actions are aligned with your purpose, discomfort has no room to exist. It only arises when there is a gap between where you are and where you are meant to be. This gap is not a punishment, it's an invitation. An invitation to grow, to explore, to step beyond the boundaries of what you thought was possible. Many people confuse discomfort with failure. They think if I feel this way, something must be wrong with me. But what if nothing is wrong? What if this feeling is not an indicator of brokenness but of potential? What if this unease is the first spark of transformation? Look at nature. A seed buried in the soil doesn't remain comfortable. It cracks open, pushes against the dirt, and reaches for the light. The caterpillar doesn't stay safe in its cocoon. It dissolves into something unrecognizable before emerging as a butterfly. Change is never comfortable, but it is the birthplace of all growth. Discomfort, when embraced, becomes a compass. It points to areas of your life where you are settling, where you have grown stagnant, or where your dreams have been silenced. It reveals the habits, relationships, or beliefs that no longer align with your highest self. The challenge lies in how you respond. Will you numb it, run from it, or will you sit with it, listen to it, and allow it to guide you? Discomfort is not here to destroy you, it is here to move you forward. To remind you that you are not meant to merely survive, but to thrive. When you feel that knot in your stomach, that restless energy, that ache for something more, do not suppress it. Lean into it. Ask yourself, what is this discomfort trying to tell me? What part of my life needs to evolve? What path am I being called to explore? The good news is discomfort does not come without purpose. It is not random. It is intelligent. It is the universe whispering through you, nudging you closer to your true path. Instead of fearing it, see it as a gift. A painful gift perhaps, but a gift nonetheless. The next time discomfort arises, pause and listen. Instead of pushing it away, invite it in like an old friend bringing important news. Because that's exactly what it is. It is the messenger of your inner good, gently guiding you toward a new way of being. Would you like me to expand any other parts or adjust the tone? Goodness is not just a virtue or an ideal we aspire to. It is a living, breathing force within us, a silent yet powerful guide that shapes the trajectory of our lives. It is that unshakable sense of rightness, that deep inner compass that keeps pointing toward growth, truth and fulfillment, even when the external world is noisy, chaotic, or uncertain. But this guiding force of goodness is subtle. It doesn't announce itself with grandeur or loud proclamations. Instead, it whispers, It nudges. It speaks in the quiet moments when we pause long enough to listen. It doesn't impose, it simply invites us to align with the higher possibilities within ourselves. Goodness knows us better than we know ourselves. It sees the parts of us that we've forgotten or ignored. It recognizes our potential even when we doubt it. It understands that our essence is not bound by fear, hesitation, or limitation, but is expansive, infinite, and capable of remarkable transformation. And so it gently steers us not always on the easiest path, but on the one that will help us grow. Often we ignore this force. We tell ourselves that life is too busy, that our responsibilities leave no time for such introspection. We prioritize immediate gains and fleeting pleasures over the steady, unwavering call of goodness. But here is the truth: goodness does not abandon us. It stays patiently waiting for us to turn inward, to reconnect, to remember what we are truly made of. Think of the times in your life when you felt an unexplainable pull towards something, a new idea, a fresh opportunity, or even a different way of being. That pull is not random. It is goodness acting as your inner guide, trying to redirect you toward alignment, peace, and purpose. It is the same force that urges you to pause when you are rushing into something unwise, to speak up when silence feels safer, or to take a leap when fear holds you back. Goodness is not limited by circumstances. It doesn't matter where you are in life, what mistakes you've made, or how far you feel from the person you want to be. Goodness is always present, always ready to lead you back to the path of authenticity and growth. It doesn't ask for perfection, it only asks for willingness. The challenge is not in finding goodness, it is already within you. The challenge is in trusting it. Trusting that this quiet, persistent voice knows better than the loud, reactive mind. Trusting that what feels right at a deeper level, even if it's inconvenient or uncomfortable, is worth pursuing. When you align with goodness, something magical happens. Life begins to flow. Not because there are no challenges, but because you begin to see those challenges as opportunities to grow. Decisions become clearer, not because you have all the answers, but because you are guided by something greater than fleeting desires or external pressures. Goodness connects you to the world in profound ways. It reminds you that you are not separate from others, but deeply interconnected. It urges you to act with compassion, to see beyond yourself, to contribute to something larger. When you follow the guidance of goodness, you not only transform your own life, but also touch the lives of those around you. And here's the most beautiful thing about this force: it doesn't abandon you, even when you stray. Even in your darkest moments, when doubt clouds your mind or fear grips your heart, goodness is there. It may be quiet, but it is steady. It waits for you to notice it again, to turn toward it, to trust it once more. So, the next time you feel lost, confused, or unsure of your next step, don't look outside for answers. Instead, turn inward. Listen for the whisper of goodness. It may guide you in unexpected directions, but trust that it will always lead you toward what is true, what is meaningful, and what is right for your growth. Goodness is your most faithful ally, your most trustworthy guide, and it already knows the way. Would you like further elaboration or adjustments to this section? Change is the rhythm of life itself. It is not something separate from you, not an external force that disrupts your existence. It is woven into the very fabric of who you are and the world you live in. Life, in its infinite diligence, is designed to evolve, grow, and transform, and it will always support you in doing the same. But here's the paradox: while change is natural, our resistance to it is deeply ingrained. We cling to the familiar because it feels safe, even when it no longer serves us. We hesitate to step into the unknown because uncertainty feels uncomfortable, even though it holds the promise of new possibilities. Yet no matter how tightly we hold on to what is, life continues to move. Seasons change, rivers flow, and even the strongest mountains are shaped by the winds of time. Life supports change not because it wants to disrupt your comfort, but because it knows that stagnation is not your destiny. It knows that growth is your nature. Look around you, everything alive is in a state of transformation. The trees shed their leaves not in despair, but in trust that new ones will grow. The caterpillar doesn't resist the cocoon, it embraces it, knowing it is a gateway to flight. Even the stars, those symbols of permanence, are born and die, creating new galaxies in the process. If all of existence embraces change, why do we resist it so fiercely? Perhaps it's because we misunderstand its purpose. We see change as a threat, as something that takes away the stability we've worked so hard to create. But what if we shifted our perspective? What if we saw change not as an ending, but as a doorway? Not as a loss, but as a gift, a chance to become something greater than we imagined? Life supports change because it knows what you are capable of, even when you don't. It sees your potential and gently nudges or sometimes forcefully pushes you toward it. When you find yourself in situations that challenge you, when the old ways no longer work, it is not life punishing you. It is life preparing you. It is clearing away what no longer serves you to make space for something new. Think about the moments of transformation in your own life. The times when you were forced to let go of something or someone you thought you couldn't live without. At first, it may have felt like the ground was being pulled out from under you. But as time passed, you began to see the wisdom in what happened. You discovered strength you didn't know you had, met people you wouldn't have otherwise encountered, or found opportunities that reshaped your world. This is life supporting change. It doesn't always feel gentle, but it is always purposeful. Life support doesn't come in the form of guarantees or easy paths. It comes in the form of possibilities. It offers you the tools, the connections, and the circumstances to grow, but it leaves the choice to you. Will you hold on to the familiar, or will you trust life enough to take a step into the unknown? Change often feels like stepping into darkness, but here's the secret: the path only appears as you walk it. Life doesn't give you a detailed map, but it provides the light for each step you take. And with every step, you realize that the ground beneath you is solid, that the fears you carried were only shadows, and that life was there, holding you all along. Even when change feels disruptive, life is working for you, not against you. When a door closes, it's because something better is waiting on the other side. When relationships end, it's because they've fulfilled their purpose in your journey. When plans fall apart, it's because life is redirecting you to something more aligned with your potential. Trusting that life supports change doesn't mean it will always be easy. It means recognizing that every challenge, every twist and turn is part of a larger design. It means understanding that the universe is not random, it is intelligent, and it is always conspiring in your favor. Even when you cannot see the bigger picture, life sees it. Even when you feel lost, life knows exactly where it is leading you. So instead of fearing change, embrace it. Welcome it as a teacher, a guide, and a catalyst for your growth. Trust that life is not here to break you, but to shape you. Trust that every step you take, no matter how uncertain, is supported by the same force that moves the tides, grows the trees, and lights the stars. Life supports change because life is change. To resist it is to resist your own nature. To embrace it is to step into the flow of existence itself. And in that flow, you will find not only growth, but also the deep, unshakable peace that comes from knowing you are exactly where you are meant to be. Would you like to expand on a specific section or explore another part of the speech? Within each of us lies an inner compass, a quiet, steady force that knows the way, even when everything around us feels chaotic or uncertain. It is not bound by logic or external validation, nor is it swayed by fear or doubt. This compass, unique to you, is always guiding you toward the life you are meant to live. But the challenge is not in having this compass, it's in listening to it. We live in a world that bombards us with noise. The opinions of others, societal expectations, and the constant pull of distractions can drown out the voice of our inner compass. It's easy to mistake this noise for guidance, to believe that the answers we seek lie outside of us. But no matter how much you search the world for clarity, the truth remains: the guidance you need has always been within. Your inner compass is not loud. It doesn't shout, demand, or force its way into your decisions. It whispers. It speaks in the language of intuition, of gut feelings, of moments when something just feels right or feels off. It doesn't explain itself in words. It simply knows. And this knowing, though subtle, is more profound and trustworthy than anything you could rationalize or justify. Think about the times in your life when you followed your inner compass, even when it didn't make sense to others or perhaps even to yourself. Maybe you took a leap of faith on an opportunity that felt right in your heart, even though it seemed risky on paper. Or perhaps you walked away from something that appeared perfect from the outside but felt wrong deep inside. Those moments, though not always easy, likely led you to growth, alignment, and a deeper connection with your true self. Listening to your inner compass requires stillness, something that feels increasingly rare in today's fast-paced world. When was the last time you truly paused, not just physically but mentally and emotionally? When did you last sit with yourself long enough to hear what your inner voice is saying? The compass can't guide you if you're always rushing, always filling the silence with noise. To hear it, you must create space to reflect, to breathe, to simply be. The inner compass doesn't always guide you along the path of least resistance. Sometimes it points toward challenges or discomfort because it knows that growth lies on the other side. It may nudge you to confront fears, to let go of attachments, or to take a step into the unknown. Following it requires courage, not because it is unreliable, but because it often asks you to trust what cannot yet be seen. Doubt is natural when listening to your inner compass, especially when its guidance contradicts logic or the expectations of others. You might wonder, what if I'm wrong? What if this feeling is misleading? But here's the truth. Your inner compass is never wrong. It doesn't operate from fear, ego, or insecurity. It is rooted in your deepest truth, in the part of you that is unshaken by the external world. Trusting it is not about eliminating doubt, it's about choosing to move forward despite it. One of the most beautiful things about your inner compass is that it connects you to something greater. It is not just your individual guide, it is a thread that ties you to the flow of life itself. When you follow it, you align not only with your personal truth, but also with the larger rhythm of the universe. Doors begin to open. Synchronicities appear. People, opportunities, and resources come into your life at just the right time, not because of coincidence, but because you are walking the path that was always meant for you. Yet there will be times when the noise of the world drowns out your inner compass. Times when fear, doubt, or external pressures cloud your clarity. In those moments, don't despair. The compass hasn't disappeared. It's simply waiting for you to return to it. All it takes is a moment of stillness, a deep breath, and the willingness to turn inward. The inner compass is patient. It doesn't punish you for ignoring it, nor does it grow frustrated when you lose your way. It simply waits, ready to guide you again whenever you are ready to listen. It knows that your journey is not a straight line, that detours and mistakes are part of the process. And no matter how far you stray, it will always point you back to your true north. So how do you listen to your inner compass? Begin by creating moments of stillness in your life. Whether through meditation, time in nature, journaling, or simply sitting in silence, give yourself the space to hear its whispers. Pay attention to how things feel, not just what you think about them. Notice the subtle pull toward certain choices and the quiet resistance to others. And most importantly, trust. Trust that this compass, though invisible, is the most reliable guide you have. Life may not always make sense and the path forward may not always be clear. But your inner compass is there, unwavering, ready to guide you one step at a time. Listen to it, trust it, and let it lead you toward a life that is not just successful, but deeply meaningful, authentic, and aligned with who you truly are. Would you like me to expand further? Add examples or adjust the tone? Change, growth, and transformation, these are not for the faint of heart. To transform is to step into the unknown, to release the familiar, and to trust the process even when the destination is unclear. It is a journey that asks for your courage at every turn. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to move forward despite it. It is the strength to listen to your inner compass when the world tells you otherwise. It is the faith to embrace discomfort, knowing it is a messenger of growth. It is the trust to let goodness guide you, even when the path ahead is uncertain. Transformation requires you to believe in something greater than your doubts, greater than your fears, greater than the limitations you've placed upon yourself. It asks you to believe in life's wisdom, in your innate capacity for change, and in the possibility of becoming the person you are meant to be. No one else can walk this path for you, but the good news is you are not alone. Life itself supports you. The universe conspires in your favor, and the same force that causes rivers to flow and trees to grow is the force that flows within you. Trust it. Trust yourself. This is not just about creating a better life, it's about awakening to the truth of who you are. It's about aligning with the deeper rhythm of existence and allowing yourself to expand into the fullness of your potential. So, when the call for change arises, answer it with courage. When your inner compass speaks, follow it with trust. And when the journey feels overwhelming, remember life is always on your side, guiding you, supporting you, and rooting for your transformation. Step boldly into the unknown, for that is where life truly begins. And as you walk this path of transformation, you will not only change yourself, you will illuminate the way for others. Transformation requires courage, but the reward is beyond measure. It is not just a new path, it is the beginning of a new you. Would you like me to refine this further, add any additional elements? A new path is not just a change of direction, it is an invitation to step into the realm of possibility. It's a chance to leave behind what no longer serves you and to embrace the vast potential of what could be. It's not about what you lose, but about what you gain, the growth, the discovery, and the profound sense of alignment that comes from living authentically. Possibility is not limited by where you've been or what you think you know. It is boundless, always waiting for you to reach for it. To walk a new path is to believe in the potential for something greater, even when you cannot yet see it. It is to trust that the universe holds opportunities far beyond your imagination, and that life itself is on your side, nudging you forward toward your highest self. This journey will not always be easy. It may ask you to leave behind comfort, to confront your fears, and to step into the unknown. But remember, every step you take on this path is an act of courage, and every act of courage brings you closer to your truth. A new path is not just about arriving at a destination, it's about who you become along the way. It's about finding clarity, building resilience, and aligning with the deeper wisdom that already resides within you. It's about discovering that life is not something that happens to you, but something you co-create with every choice you make. So take that step. Embrace the possibility of transformation. Trust your inner compass. Lean into discomfort and let goodness be your guide. The path may be unfamiliar, but it holds the promise of a life more meaningful, more vibrant, and more aligned with who you are meant to be. The power to choose this path is yours. The courage to walk it is within you. And the possibilities it holds are endless. So go forward boldly. A new path is not just the beginning of a journey. It is the beginning of a life full of potential, growth, and boundless opportunity. Would you like further adjustments to this conclusion or more refinement? Life is always calling you. Sometimes it calls softly, like a whisper in the stillness of your thoughts. And other times it calls loudly, shaking the very ground beneath your feet. This call is not random, it is a beckoning from the depths of your being, an invitation to grow, to evolve, and to step into the fullness of who you are. Answering the call is not about certainty, it's about trust. It's about trusting that life, in its infinite wisdom, knows exactly where it's leading you, even when you cannot see the whole path. It's about trusting yourself, the quiet strength within you that is braver than your doubts and wiser than your fears. This call may ask you to leave behind the familiar, to embrace change and to step into the unknown. It may challenge you, stretch you, and even break you open at times. But it will also transform you. It will lead you to places you never dreamed possible, to possibilities that were waiting all along for your courage to meet them. Answering the call means saying yes to life, yes to growth, yes to the adventure of becoming. It means choosing to listen to your inner compass, to trust the force of goodness that guides you, and to let discomfort be a teacher rather than a barrier. Life's call is not here to burden you, it is here to awaken you, to remind you of your strength, your potential, and the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. The path may not be easy, but it will always be worth it, for it is your path, a journey that is uniquely yours to walk. So, when life calls, don't hesitate. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Step forward even if your steps are small. Step forward with courage, with trust, and with the belief that this call, no matter how daunting, is leading you toward the person you are meant to become. Answer the call. It is not just the start of a new journey, it is the beginning of a life more true, more meaningful, and more aligned with your deepest purpose. The call is here. The time is now, and the possibilities are endless. Let me know if you'd like any further refinements.